go. May I have your attention, please? Requesting passengers to keep their face mask covering nose and mouth. Thank you.
Hello from Leh, Ladakh. I arrived here this morning at 9:30 a.m. after a 15-hour flight from Bangalore via Delhi. This is my first time here in Ladakh, which is surprising considering my interest in astrophotography and landscapes. But on this trip, I'm here to see the snow leopards. From Leh, we'll head out to a village called Uleh, and that's where we're going to stay at the Snow Leopard Lodge and hopefully sight the grey ghost, which is the snow leopard. And today is a day of acclimatization. I'm staying in this beautiful property called the Grand Dragon at Leh. From here, we head out to Uleh and then hopefully spot snow leopards.
Not on this map, but Saspoche, Yangthang, Hemeshukpajan. These are the three valleys we'll be exploring on our trip, and Uleh is right in the middle of them. So tomorrow on our day trip, we'll be going in a totally different direction, and this is precisely because it's a totally different mountain range and land.
Hello, this is my second morning at Leh, and I'm here in the terrace of the property where I'm staying at, which is the Grand Dragon Hotel. It's got a beautiful view of the mountains surrounding the city of Leh. As you can see, the first light of the sun is kissing that mountaintop over there. I was here earlier in the morning to shoot Comet Leopard, and I was also interested in seeing how I would face minus 15 degrees centigrade. That was how cold it was at 5 a.m. in the morning. After about an hour, my fingers froze and I rushed back to the room. As for the comet, unfortunately I couldn't spot it. Maybe I'll try again tomorrow. Although I was in Ladakh to see the snow leopard, my trip dates coincided with the Geminid meteorite showers. The peak for this celestial display was the early morning hours of December 13th and 14th. I was excited at how dark the skies in Ladakh were, so I was out capturing the stars whenever I could. To face sub-zero temperatures, I wore multiple layers. The first layer was a thermal base layer. On top of that, I wore a fleece jacket and then a down-filled jacket. The outermost layer was a heavily padded waterproof ski jacket. To cover my ears, I sometimes used a bandana and in other times a beanie hat. These layers help me keep the core of my body warm, but my fingers and toes were mostly cold. It hadn't started snowing in Ladakh yet, but the valleys which did not receive much sunlight had frozen ice in them. The cold weather is not the only challenge when you're out in the outdoors. The thin, High altitude air makes you gasp for breath after any activity. On the second day of our trip, we drove on the Leh-Manali highway towards Upshi. This road leads to Taglangla Pass, which is at 17,000 feet. We did not go all the way to the pass, and the plan was to spot the wildlife unique to that region, which is mainly the blue sheep or the burrell. We saw male adult blue sheep with beautiful, large, backward sweeping horns grazing on a precarious mountain slope. We also spotted petite female burrell near the Indus River. The birds that we saw were the Eurasian magpie, the awkward looking chukar partridge, and the bearded vulture. Towards the afternoon, we saw a flock of white-winged redstart feeding on seabuck thorn. We ate packed lunch in the outdoors and drove back to Leh in the evening. On the way, we saw a flock of Pashmina sheep going home. This variety of sheep is found only in Ladakh and gives the finest quality wool. Near the Shea Palace, we saw plenty of ducks and the locals were feeding them. After a day of acclimatization at Leh and spending another day going around to nearby places looking for local wildlife, we are now ready to head out to Ule. Ule is where the snow leopard expedition starts. We have 3 cars with us, all loaded, and we are ready to go. After checking out from the hotel, we left Leh and drove past Nemo. The route to Ule was along the Indus River. The landscape changed, indicating that we were entering the lair of the snow leopard. At one spot, we found Uriels, a wild sheep which is in the vulnerable species list. We were now in that part of Ladakh where man and wild share the same space. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to see the next 2 parts of my winter Ladakh experience.
Ladakh traditionally will have a winter kitchen and a summer kitchen. So summer kitchen is generally higher up on the first floor, so they'll be larger. Winter kitchens will always